So talk to me about the new album.
I'd probably say we're 70%, maybe 76% done.
76%.
Very precise.
Basically, we've got 4 tracks of vocals left, a little bit of bass, and one guitar solo. But we need to do things in a certain order to be able to finish the musical parts, because we want to complement what Annabelle's going to do vocally. So that's why Mustard and I can't just steam ahead and finish our bits. We're going to wait till Annabelle gets to a certain point. And so far, everything that what we've recorded, if from my point of view, there's not really any regrets. And I think that's one thing that we needed to make damn sure of that we didn't do. Because on the first album, there are certain bits I listen back to go, why did I do it like that? Or why we played it at the wrong tempo. Most of the gripe I've got about the first album are the tempos are not right compared to going back to what you're saying, compared to how we play them live, how they feel live. So now I don't listen to the first album that much. Certain ones, I'd love to redo certain bits, but it was right for the time.
Yeah.
And I think, it was good for the time, but there are certain things, as all bands do, they look back, a year or two later and go, why did we do it like that? But, it was a brand new lineup. We were still working how to work with each other, because these guys joined when the album was, technically it already started being recorded, but then we re-recorded a lot of bits with all the current lineup, because obviously these guys they were being little bitches about it and didn't want anybody else playing on their album. So we had to re-record.
Of course.
No.
Exactly. So we had to re-record a bunch of stuff, which I totally agreed with. But yes, new album, everything is great so far. We haven't really had any disagreements. We've had several times where we've had to compromise, which is what it's all about. When you get 4 people in a band, we all got to be happy but realistic. There's always got to be a compromise, and I think that's the first album taught us. So I think it's mostly between me and Lee how to compromise. So is the drummer and the guitarist.
Strong opinions about music. We're both very know what we like. We know what we want. Music writing, music production, coming together as a unit is something that we've definitely grown on from when we first joined in 2019. You got to figure out everyone's differences. Some people didn't get the first album. Let's put it that way. We've been told that. We've been told, I don't get it. Some of the songs don't, what's going on there. And that's because we were finding our sound, finding our feet and trying to make something out of 4 individuals. And this one, the name is named Elements because of the 4 elements about coming together and being in one matter. And that's exactly what we've done. And every single song, it goes through a process before it gets signed off and gets onto the album. We've done that with everything, and we're making sure every single song on that album is good enough to be a single track or a hit in our eyes, something that we all love. The compromises are smaller because we have sort of got the same vision on this one.
Annabelle, I saw you play in Blackpool. When you performed the songs from the new album live, I seem to remember you laughing a little bit because I think you announced the new single on multiple songs. But what's the story behind new tracks that no one's heard before playing live?
Well, so the latest one is Save the Damn World. That's the official new single that's going to come out soon, very soon. No, I tend to laugh because, because we're adding new songs as we go, which is really cool. And it sort of tests the waters to see how other people are feeling to hear them. And I giggle because sometimes I get wrapped up in my own head. I'm like, which single is it again? Is this a new song? What are we doing? Not me personally, because everyone else actually knows sometimes what they're doing. But I sort of... It's like a split moment of insanity, and I'm like, right, I'm back in the room, I know what I'm doing. And but the latest one was Save the Damn World. But the newest introduction to the set was one of the latest songs that we have just finished recording. Like,
wow, you got to go to the live shows then, haven't you? If you want to know what they're called.
Yeah.
Well, the funny
so
one.
let's see, people. But the new single, official new single, which is coming out very, very, very soon. It's called "Save the Damn World," and it is from the upcoming album called Elements. If you want to pre-order, you know what to do.
And I think some of the funny, the laughing and the kind of mucking around we had on stage at Blackpool was because the song starts with Annabelle's vocal, and while she's trying to remember what we're actually doing, we were like, "Start the fucking song, let's go!"
Oh yeah, because this is one song that I have to start because they're like, we're gonna give you, we're gonna trust you, and you're gonna have responsibility to start the song, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm still getting used to it, but I am more on the ball now compared to what I was before. I was like, yep, I know I need to get a good, start this the right way, the right tempo. Can't do it too fast, too slow, too shabby, because I'm literally by myself, introducing the song as we get into it. So fun times. I enjoy it though.
Perfect.
It's a good challenge.
Perfect. Kind of getting caught up in the onstage banter and then realizing, oh wait, no, I'm supposed to actually start a song. Okay.
Yeah, because I just start talking to the crowd, and because everyone's like either laughing or something, and there is always some sort of responsive, banter going on, which is fun. But you tend to forget a little bit, like, oh shit, you know what? We got to wrap this shit up.
Honestly, earnestly mean it. So you've heard it before. It's not new to you. I'm going to put it out there just so that you hear it from me, and then I'm going to ask you a question. And it is to say, I would have been easily convinced that you were on a label. You are independent. You're creating this on your own. Your live show is phenomenal. You're all very engaging. The crowd were eating it up. Afterwards, I spoke with people and they were all just glowing about your performance, your banter, your command of the stage. But your recordings, your video, your website, your marketing materials, there's not a single thing that you do poorly or as an amateur. Everything is high grade professional. Do you feel that you have a bar that you have to hit? And so the recording that you're doing, the songs that you choose, how produced it sounds, etc., you've got to hit that bar, and there's nothing below that minimum that gets released. I
don't know how to say it without sounding like a knob, but when I go out there on stage, I want to kick all the other bands' asses, and that's the whole point of it's basically fighting for a job interview. You want to be the one that gets it. Yeah, there's so many little things, like you just said. You nailed it. How your set flows, the breaks between the songs, which really pisses me off a lot of bands when they just stop every song for like a minute, faff about doing nothing, and then carry on. There's no flow, there's no groove. So when we put a set together, it's got a flow, it's got a groove, and we know what works well, what links well, and then things like that. But yes, there's definitely a bar that if we don't hit it, I think I'm the one that's most annoyed.
We're all really critical of ourselves when we don't perform to our own standards we have in our minds. But we always try and remember that, like, when we put these things together, when we write songs, we're writing songs because we want to create and express. We want to express ourselves. We've got a message, we've got a story, we've got we've created something that we love, and we want to put it out there for the world to hear. And when people connect with the music, you want to do it in a way that makes them feel like they're part of what we're doing on the stage. And the way that we tend to do that is to build the show with purpose. We don't just kind of go, what songs we're going to do tonight? Bang, 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 bang. There's your set. Let's go and play it. We think about what we do between the songs. We think about the interactions we have with the crowd. We think about, I'm a music fan. If I'm in the crowd, what do I want to see? I don't want to see my next door neighbor go and sing some songs. I want to go and see a fucking rock star at a fucking rock show. I want that whole experience, right? And we try and think of it like that.
It's a full show production rather than just, we're just doing a set. It's a full, visual, audio, and the whole professionalism that comes with it. It's not just, bang, slap, there it is.
It takes money and effort to do that. We work within our means. We're all poor musicians, right? we all have to have day jobs because we've got other commitments and families we have to support. This band, I hope I'm okay saying this from my point of view, this is a labor of love for music and for the fans, and to be able, and it's an absolute honor for us to be able to do what we do. You know, and I don't think I would be very happy if I wasn't in this band doing what we do in this band.
Aw, I think he's confessing, guys.
Yeah, let me add some things to
Sack
that.
me.
So yeah, I want to start off by saying thank you for the praise, by the way, because that is like really nice to hear, because we do put in so much effort. And I'm talking about all the stuff that you said right at the beginning with the you know, you look professional, you look like you got a label backing behind you, you know, your website's good, the way you're presenting yourself, your recordings and everything. That's where like 90% of our effort's been recently, is to try and get all that stuff up to a standard, because we know that competition in our scene, in and around our scene, is really fierce. Everybody's fighting for the same festival slots. Everybody's trying to make a name for themselves and get their music heard, because they probably believe exactly what we believe, and they think they have a product which is good enough to make it and go big. And you know, they believe in what they've created, and we believe in what we've created in this new album. You know, so we want to not release something just by going, there you go, here's a new song. We need to make sure that as many people as possible hear it. So it needs to be, you know, it needs to look good, it needs to be presented well, and it needs to go to the right people. That's what we're trying to do. And yeah, as for the live shows, just to touch on that last bit, the key for us is, yeah, play every show like you're headlining, play every show like it's Wembley Arena. That's all you can do. You know, if there's 4 people there, you know, we've traveled 4 or 5 hours in the car before to play a 20-30 minute set. You know, that's 5 or 6 songs. And there's been 5 people in the audience, but ultimately every single show we've played, one person at least, has then contacted us, bought something from us, come to our next show, bought tickets for a next show, or whatever. So they're the real fans that we're trying to make actual, you know, real fans, rather than paid for streams and stuff like that. They're the real fans that come to the shows and support our music and our sound.